What's going on, everybody? It is Thursday, May 20th. May 20th. Had a good day. Had a good day today. Market's getting better, I guess. I guess. I guess we'll just jump right into it. I followed my revenge trading rule a lot better today, which is good because TCAT, my biggest loser today, I was like, oh, I can get back into it. And I was like, well, no, I can't because I'm following my rules. And I would have lost twice. So that was nice to see. That was nice to see. Okay, I took quite a few trades, or I made a lot of zones. We're going to try to make it through this in a timely manner. I did a lot of trading at work, so. Okay, here we go. Did I trade IHT? Oh, I did. I did trade IHT. Okay, so IHT was my, I think my first trade. Do I have my lines drawn? No, I don't know what the fuck this is. I'm going to have to pull it up on my brokerage right quick just to see exactly where that trade took place. Oh, it's right here. It was on this candle. No. It was this candle. This one right here. Let's see. IHT 632 to 623. So 632 to 623. Good enough. So I made this zone right up here in this action at oh no, 852. So it would have been right here. Is that right? What time is it? Oh yeah, 9:54. I got filled. Oh, I was on the wrong candle. I was on a 15-minute chart. That's why. Okay, that makes so much more sense. Okay, so I'm looking at the 5. I bought here. Yep. Okay, cool. So at 8:54, I called this zone. That would have been basically as it was getting filled. It was within this 5-minute candle, so it would have been right here. So I made this zone, put in my bids. It came down and filled me exactly 632. The top of my zone here. 632 filled me, and then I sold as soon as it went up here and touched VWAP. I mean, actually VWAP was lower at the time. VWAP was at 6.6. So I sold right here. Yes. I sold on this one. So I bought here, got filled, immediately sold. And now the reason I did that is because I thought, okay, well, the odds are likely that this is just a secondary rally. You can see the volume here wasn't huge. So I said, okay, it's probably a secondary rally, and it's going to correct and come right back to where it was. So I'm going to go ahead and take that free money. I mean, that ended up being like, that might have been the best cent gain. Maybe not, but so that was like 40-cent trade, even though I was only filled in with one bid here. But I did start making my bids bigger. I have started moving into that a little bit more. So yeah, I ended up selling right here. My profit target initially was going to be this resistance level right here. And as you can see, as soon as it popped over that, I was out. My stop loss was going to be down here at the definitive 6 spot for a risk of 20 cents. It was actually, it would have been 33 cents. But if it did really come down here, it would have filled me along the way, making my average down here, yada, yada, yada. So yeah, I took that expecting it to come fill my zone again. There's no reason for me to hold through this. Unless you're paying like crazy high commissions or something, there's no reason to just sell that for the free money, put your bid back where it was, and then follow the plan as you initially had made it. Now, it didn't actually end up coming to fill me, unfortunately. But you see that I would have only made another, if I held it to the very top, another, what, 20 cents, 30 cents on I think I was in like 300 shares or something. And I would have had to have held it for another 10 minutes at least. Yeah. So, you know, I'm not upset about that. I'm actually trying to do that more often when I see these types of things happen, when I get lightly filled and it pops. So yeah, that was a good one. That was a small but good one. The next one was PRPO. This one was a loser, small loser for some reason. I can't remember why. Let's go have a look, shall we? Oops. Come on, bruh. All right, so in 923, right up here. So in this action, I said 5 to 487. 5 to 487. Oh my, what a beauty. What a beauty. Wait, how did I lose on that? Let's go look. Let's bring it up. Oh, I didn't lose on that one. I ended up losing later. I ended up taking another trade at work, I guess, that I lost on. Yeah, so this one was a winner. That's what I thought. This one was a winner right here. This is the one I did on stream in the morning. Stop loss is going to be right down here below this. Profit target was going to be, fuck, I don't remember what it was. I assume it was 5-1. Because that's where I ended up selling. Let me see. I sold at... Sell order was at... Yep, 5-1. So I sold half at 5-1 right here. And then I raised my stop loss up to 5. Just to give myself maybe a chance to come up to the 5-2s. Broke over 5-1. I took the rest of my profit simply because I had to go to the vet this morning. So I ended up almost getting stopped out, as you can see. So I waited till this pop. I sold above 5-1, raised my stop loss because 5 was pretty close to VWAP at the time. I'm looking over here at the 5-minute chart. I'm looking at the 10-minute chart. Even on stream, I said that this looks like a really good bottom of the trend. You can raise your stop loss even to break even or to this candle right here, because you know that if it goes below this is no longer the bottom of the trend and your move is not going to work anyways. So it's really good to use those higher time frames to kind of give you information as things kind of play out, whether you're in the position or not or whatever. But especially if you're in the position and you're already in the money and you're considering, should I scale out? Should I take full profit? Is this looking like it's going to come against me real fast? You could see down here that the volume wasn't, you know, equal to or better than the early morning volume. So I didn't expect a high day rally. I expected my profit targets to be at points of resistance. So 5-1, first point of resistance, as you can see. Sold. 5-2, second point of resistance. And you can see that that ended up being both of those levels ended up being key points of resistance for the remainder of the day. So we identified way up here, we identified the areas that pretty much dictated the chart as a whole. I mean, my zones ended up being the resistance for the remainder of the day. So really, really good reads on this one. I ended up taking the same zone again, it looks like, at 11:20. So that would be... Oh, okay. So yeah, I took the same zone right here. And then it came down and stopped me out at 4.8. Stopped me at... Yep, I actually sold at 4.88, which is why it was such a small loser. So I pretty much gave back what I made over here because I sized in a little harder, I guess. I don't know, actually. I don't know exactly, because I don't have my P&L up while I trade, so I don't know how much I made and lost in each of these trades, but obviously I'm red on it, like $40, so must have been pretty close to almost the exact same. Anyways, that was PRPO. This zone worked out. Should have just taken it. You know, seeing this failing to make new highs. That's not a good sign. I really shouldn't have taken that trade. I knew better than that. That was a boredom trade. I mean, I guess you could technically assume that it is going to come back up here. It respected the zone the same way. But what did I say yesterday? Like, if you're going to take a zone the same time that you're not sure about, that the 10-minute, the 5-minute aren't giving you good corroboration on, you can take the zone with half the size you took it initially to preserve some of the capital you might have made. So I could have followed that advice, and I could have noticed that, the way we came down was this significant candle here, 20 cent red candle. That's pretty solid momentum coming down. Sell volume across the board higher than buy volume. There was a lot of signs. I'd like to blame it on the fact that I was on my phone at the time, but I won't, because it's not true. It was a bad trade. But you have those every once in a while. So TCAT was actually my worst trade of the day. And I came pretty close to revenge trading it, but I didn't, because I remembered the pains that were yesterday. And thankfully, I didn't take another loser on it, which led me to, really to have some good winners in the end of the day that weren't just, fixing previous bad trades. It wasn't, digging me out of a hole. So that was nice. So TCAT, I took 2136, 2115, 2136. You can assume it's based off this candle right here. 2113. I don't know where I got that one from. 2115. So it would have been the body of this 10-minute. So this wick, this body. That's how I made that zone. So, this actually wasn't a terrible trade. Let me bring it up to see where I got stopped out. Interesting. I'm not seeing. Oh, there it is. At 2083 was my stop. So it would have been, yes, right here in this action. So yeah, right here I got stopped out. So this wasn't a bad trade as far as like the looks over here. Now, I really don't like chop like this. I mean, this is a hammer, and then the next candle gapped down on the open up. That's just because of this. This kind of looked bad, but there's a semblance of a trend there. Although this is kind of barcodey, which I've said in the past, I don't like barcode 10 minutes. This is kind of trend centric. If it had come down here and rallied, yeah, that's kind of good. But this, almost a 70-cent wick right here, and on the higher time frame, an even higher wick, that tells me that I hate when my higher time frame candles give body back, right? So instead of this being a 22.9 candle, you might as well not even count that wick, because that's where price got chewed up and came right back down. So realistically, the high was technically, right around the 22 range. So the 22 was enough resistance to bring it from all the way up here to there, right? But, I wasn't really holding for 22. I was shooting for 21.5. Was for my first scale out, or my first, paying attention to the higher time frames to see what I want to do. And then I would have, held for potentially higher, maybe 22. Not really shooting for high a day, but came against me. Because I am sizing up a little bit on my bids, my losers are going to be a little bit bigger, just because I'm, taking bigger positions, but I'm also having a worse cost average, simply because I'm like, instead of doing like 4 bids for 100, 100, 100, 700, I'm doing like 200, 200, 200, 400. You know what I mean? So the way that the spread of the weight of the bids is a little bit more towards my average cost is going to be like in the lower third of my zone, as opposed to close to the very bottom. And that just, gets me in with better size for more moves, just in case I don't get filled in full. But in this case, it did fill me in full. So, you know, that's something I've totally come to terms with. Like, I have that calculated with my max risk, right? So I'm still risking the same amount. I'm just understanding that I have to factor in, you know, some of my zone with the stop loss if I am going to do my bids that way. So that's a plan that I've, you know, kind of thought about and planned to do. So this loss wasn't a bad one. But you can see right here, I got tapped out and immediately wicked up, right? It immediately wicked up. Right here on this 2, you can definitely tell. And I said, oh shit, dude, now it's about to go. It came to stop me out and then about to go. And I was like, well, I already lost, so I got to wait 20 minutes. And what happens? Not shit. It just got worse. Just got worse. So the rule saved me what would have been another loss for sure. I mean, this never even came back up to 21-2. So yeah, very happy that I went with that. BTX and TCAP both didn't really pan out the way that you know, we were hoping. Didn't really have the continuation. They were a little trickies, but that's okay. I didn't take a trade on BTX though, so that's good. Let's see what else. Ford. Oh, Ford I took in the morning as well. And that was also a loser. Very small one, though, because it was starting to get so slow that I was like, okay, this is whack as hell. Wait, did I not post about Ford? I think we did that in on my Twitch stream. I guess I forgot to type it into chat. Let's just see where I took it. So the bottom of my zone was 21.53, and the top of my zone was 21.55. Let's go look. Oh, hey, look! Would you look at that? I have my my zone already made. Cool. So this one ended up being a loser. It had a chance. It had a chance to go. I'm not really upset with this trade either, especially because as it started to move up. So yeah, right here, I got filled in full, as you can see. 12.5, I guess, was the bottom of my zone. Oh no, I wasn't filled in full. That's right. So this is what happened. I got filled most of my bids. I didn't get filled on my bottom one, 12.5 right here. Price came up to VWAP, and I said, okay, now what I'm going to do is actually raise my stop loss up here to 12.47, cancel that bottom bid, because, you know, if this does get rejected, I won't get tapped in with that final bid, which is good because, you know, I don't expect it to eventually come back all the way out anyways. I raised my stop to the break of this trend level here. If it goes down through this, I know that trend has faked out. It came up to VWAP. I considered selling, but, you know, it was like, what? I'm in the money like 3 cents. So I was like, no. You know, if it does rally up to 12.6, you know, that's a decent trade, 10 cents or so on a really low risk trade. And, you know, otherwise I'll just take the $50 L or whatever it ended up being. And it did. I got stopped out here, which is good because, as you can see, you know, it continued to come down. I actually think I ended up raising my stop to this rally right here because I got stopped out for very little. Like I'm read like $26 or something, which is I don't exactly remember how it happened. Let's see. Oh yeah, I did. I got stopped out. I can tell you actually. Hold on. At 12.51. So yep, exactly. I raised my stop up to here, this base of this trend, right? Because I know that if this gets broken, this is no longer the low of the trend and we're no longer trending upwards. So it creates a low. It starts to move up. If I'm unsure about the move based on the kind of choppy action here or volume dying out, then I'll raise my stop up to that bottom to say, okay, well, this is the bottom. It shouldn't be touched again if it is truly going to go up. And if it does get touched again, that means it's probably not going to go up. And I was right. So it stopped me out here, which saved me, you know, another 5 cents of downside. And you can see that once this trend level broke, you know, it never came back for the rest of the day. I guess it did 10 minutes before the bell or whatever. So yeah, that ended up being a very small loser because of that. Which is totally cool. Totally cool. Again, at this point, I had taken, what, 3 losers and 1 winner, and I was still green on the day because my winner was good and my losers were so damn small. I went to work green on the day for sure. And then I had some good trades. Let's see. So oh yeah, I ended up taking PRPO again once I got to work 20 minutes later. I see it now. So XPEV, I didn't trade, so we'll skip that one. Moxie, so I did trade Moxie, had a solid winner here. Let's see. 14.84 to 14.57, 11.05. Moxie was a good one today. Moxie actually ended up being a good one multiple times. But I was not really liking how the volume was kind of sporadic, so I ended up not taking the same zone over and over. But I could have. I think you could have taken this zone 3 times, or 2 times at least, something like that. Let me see. 14.84 to 14.57. 14.84 to 14.57. Yep, so this was the first move right here. Got filled in full. I was risking, I think, the low of this run over here. 14.15, something like that. Oh, I can tell you. On 14.22. I was risking 14.22 right here. And I was paying attention to the 15 simply because it was a whole dollar. So I remember now. I took this twice. Well, let me check my broker. I might be misremembering. Moxie. I did. Okay. Yeah, so I took this twice. So it came right here. I was watching the 15, remember? And just because it's a key level, not because it's necessarily a profit target, although when I was filled in full, this is still almost a 40-cent move from the bottom of my zone here. I was filled in full. It broke over 15 for a quick pop, and I sold. And I said, well, I'm selling pops right now. This resistance tells me it's about to come back down anyways, and then I can get some more ads in my zone. So initially, I just added this much and was waiting for the rally up, but it did end up coming down a VWAP for a tap, filled me in full again. I held through 15 this time. As it went up, I raised my stop loss to here because, like I mentioned earlier, this would now be the bottom of the trend. If it truly is a trend that's going upwards, this would be the bottom, right? You could even, to give yourself a little bit more wiggle room as opposed to doing break even, do the low of this. So if it breaks down through the low of this, that's now a lower low, right? You can do that mentally just to give yourself the safety of not being wicked out. That's totally fine. I'm on mobile, so I try to do hard stops always just because, like, you're not as fast to respond, and I don't want to get torched. But it ended up popping up here. Once it broke this level, where you can see this key areas of support, I took my profit. I sold. So I got 15.20 all the way down from 14.57. 60, 70 cent move, something like that. Real quick, 2 big ones. And I was like, damn, I'm already handsomely green now. Because I didn't exacerbate my losers. I didn't revenge trade TCAT. I was so happy, dude. I was so happy. So that one was a really good one. Yeah, I see it now. So I posted pictures in my in Momo chat of my charts. So if you want to go re-verify, you can. So this is the next one. I said Moxie. This could be an LLIT situation where you were trading between support and resistance all day, just like LLIT yesterday, where you could have taken the zone 5 different times and just scalped resistance, add support, scalp resistance, add support. I said, look out for this. This might be a repeater. Oh, damn it. Did I really clear it? What was it? 14, 8, 4, 14, 5, 3. I think something like that. Anyways, as it came back down, that was when I took it the second time. I didn't take it the third time, although you could have, taken profit at 15 right here. That it is kind of is what it is. I got the most of this move here. This is a big candle coming down, big sell volume starting to take over. Those are all signs that, like, if you are going to take it, you better sell as soon as it breaks out of the zone for the 30 cents or whatever that might be. And if, you're not going to do that, then just don't take it at all. SNSE. This is actually one that no one else has taken but me. But it was a good one. Really low volume. So it was, you had to be careful with your sizing because rug pulls and low volume tickers come a lot faster. They're way less likely, though. Sometimes you just trade sideways infinitely and you close without ever making or losing anything. But so SNSE 1266 to 1240. Dude, I need to start posting these pictures more often. This is nice because it has my stops and everything. That's nice. My stop was right here. My profit target was 13. So where was it? Where was it? It was right here. So I ended up getting filled, not in full, but close. Right here, this level. Right? Yes. So I got filled right here. About half of my bids. It popped over 13 and I'm out, right? So that ended up being about a 30 to 40 cent move right here. This is the low of this was 12.56. I think my average was closer to like 12.6 though. So it was probably like 38 cents or something. But I mean, that's great. 38 cents is fine. 500 shares, that's 150 bucks. 1,000 shares, that's, 300 bucks. Obviously, whatever your count is, you'll size accordingly based on your risk management. But my point is that, like, you can make a living on 20 and 30 cents over and over. I mean, I made enough to definitely I made way more trading than I did at Chuck E. Cheese today, that's for sure. Taking 20 and 30 cent scalps. And this was really low volume, as you can see. Like, this is only 50,000 volume on a 10-minute candle, which is really, really low. So it obviously took a long time to go, but when it did, nice little pop here. Good return. Good return. Once I put my stop down here, I could basically forget about it. This stop did give me VWAP to come crash through, gave me previous areas of resistance to come crash through, and it would have stopped me out close to below this previous low of the trend. So all good reasons to have a good stop here. The stop ended up only being about 20 cents or so. So pretty solid altogether. Pretty solid. Ended up not taking the zone again, although you definitely could have. If you watched the volume down here. No, I'm trying to figure out what would have given you the sign to take it again. All this right here tells me don't take it again. You could have, but yeah, I wouldn't have. I'm not going to pretend like I would have. I'd like to be that guy who just every good trade he takes, I never miss anything. But I'm not. I'm just a guy. I did say SNSE watching this zone, very low volume, so be mindful. And that was at 12:06 Central Time. At 12:08, PDSB. All right, this one was a banger. This one was a good one. So what did I say? 12:08. 12:08. Oh wait, but that was 12:08. So 683, 668, 668 based on this low here. And I'm trying to remember exactly where that AT was, the ascending triangle I was seeing. Oh, okay. So yesterday we had a good move that basically took place through an ascending triangle. What was that on LLIT or whatever? Yeah. So if you look at this right here, this is essentially an ascending triangle on the 5. And I made my zone with the expectation of being wicked in. As you can see here, these long wicks were coming through before we can eaten right back up. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get wicked in. The ascending triangle ended up, not really having a whole lot of impact. We basically just traded between support and resistance over and over again, which is totally fine. Totally fine. I got really good ads. I mean, I got literally the best ads you could have gotten because I made a zone down below where the action was taking place. So on the dips of the action, of it coming down below where it was consolidating, it would fill me and it would come right back up. So I'm already in the money. So I just waited. I got really solid ads on VWAP. You can notice that on the 5 and the 10 that it's looking solid. It's not straying. These are all technically higher lows here. All good signs. The resistance was holding up well, but the second that it breaks, it's going to pop. And I held for this area right here. As soon as I got over 710, I took profit in full. Now, I could have, held it obviously later throughout the day. I held through this. I could have, held or, in a hot market, added on all this ugly consolidation and taken it higher. But, I was really happy with my 50-cent move or whatever. And that was really low risk. I was risking 662. So we're talking to make 30 to 40 cents. I was risking, 6 cents? I mean, I'm not a mathematician, but that's some pretty darn good risk to reward. And I'll show you what the picture I had of that looked like. It looked like this. So you can see this dotted line down here was my max risk. This is my ad zone, this rectangle. The dotted line up top was a line I wanted to pay attention to. That was the line of current acting resistance. And this was my overall price target. So as soon as it came up to those levels, I was out. Very happy with the trade. Didn't look at the ticker again for the rest of the day. Wasn't really that interested. It was hard to kind of chart pullbacks on it simply because, it just kind of like traded sideways and kept going. So I wasn't really interested in trying to get in on this this area here. So that was PDSB. Oh yeah, here's the actual breakout picture. This is what it looked like here. So as you can see, just like we had charted on Thinkorswim, bounce, respects VWAP, filling me here. I didn't get filled my bottom order, but I was in with a decent size simply because my bids were bigger as they were higher up now. So I almost got a full position, or at least I got like a 2/3 of position, and took it for a good move. So that is cool. That is cool. That is cool. So UONE, I actually ended up getting stopped out. I chased this one all day, and I was hoping that when it did rug pull, or when it did sell off, that it would sell off and fill me, right? So my zone ended up being 933 down to 916, right there. So I was hoping that it would come down to these previous levels. At the time, the trend looked a little bit like this. Right? Something to that effect. Because it's pretty damn sharp. There wasn't a whole lot of pausing. You can see that there was definitely not pullbacks. It's kind of like traded like BTX, where it would trade sideways, go up, trade sideways, go up. So I was expecting, if it did pull back, just a slight one to counter the trading sideways. It came through. It immediately came and stopped me out. I believe my stop was 896. Yeah, it was 8. So I was in this trade for a very short period of time. Took a little loser on it. Not a big deal, It is what it is. I chased this one all day. I was okay with taking the loser. I had a great day otherwise. But wait, there's more. I ended up taking my final trade of the day on UONE in the after hours, and boy was it a doozy. 930 to 907. You can see it's based off of these wicks and these bodies here. 907 was based off bodies, tops. Same thing. Oops. Same thing over here on the 10. You're seeing bodies of minute candles, wicks. That's that wick, top wick, bottom body, bottom body. A lot of collaboration in that zone. And it ended up coming down and filling me, trading sideways. I actually didn't, because it's after hours. I was a little scared. So I waited for confirmation on this one. So it popped, and once it came above this little rally right here, I took a position. I think my total was, I ended up being at like 945 or 94, something like that. I waited through this. It went, and I sold it like 10.4. So I took almost a whole dollar move on that one. It was nuts. I definitely wasn't. I was actually just shooting for this level. And as you can see, it got close. And I was like, all right, well, we're going to sell. But by the time that I got prepared to sell, it was already up here. So I just immediately sold, not even really planning to wait for the dollar move or whatever. But yeah, once it got above 10, dude, it was, look at that. That's nuts. That is nuts. Hopefully this UONE is a runner tomorrow. The action on it was crazy. And this is a ticker this is the kind of stuff you see when the markets heat up. You see these straight, these tickers that go. I mean, there's not a whole lot of resting. You could have caught pullbacks, less pullbacks and more periods of rest. And, you know, in hot markets, when you can plan and account for that sort of thing, these are really good. I mean, you could have played the 20 on the 2 pretty much all day, close to it. There's just a lot of things you can do when tickers do this on the day, right? You have a lot more opportunities. You've got a W pattern here. I mean, you know, we can really start to extend moves and take advantage of plays as things heat up. But I'm going to continue being in hyper scalp, hyper cautious mode probably until late June. Then I'll look at the tickers that have run throughout the month previous, and I'll kind of reassess then. You know, June isn't usually a really hot month for small caps anyways, so you know, I'm not expecting a whole lot. But I'm not going to get faked out or tricked or anything like that. I'm going to stick to what's working for me right now. And, you know, maybe as things start to change in the future, hopefully, we can, you know, start to take advantage of some better opportunities. But for the time being, this is what we'll keep doing. You know, you can scalp in choppy markets. You can scalp in bad markets. You can scalp in bear markets. You can scalp. It doesn't matter. You can always scalp. It's always a scalper's market. You just have to, you know, adjust profit targets, risk levels, position sizes, all that kind of stuff. Based on the overall conditions, but scalping can still work. So, you know, don't think that it can't. Man, I guess that's it for me today. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. No, I don't think so. So, I appreciate all you guys listening. I appreciate the people who messaged me and, you know, have nice things to say about, you know, hey, this has helped me a lot. I really appreciate it. That means a lot to me, and it's awesome that, you know, I can be helping people, even if it's just a single person that benefits from this, then that makes it all worth the time, you know. It helps me to review these as well. So, you know, hopefully as a whole, we all get better, and you know, at the end of our journey, we can, you know, retire in Cancun and kick it or something. But regardless, have a great rest of your day, guys. If you need to message me any questions or whatever, you are always welcome to. Otherwise, I will see you for Friday tomorrow. And I hope you guys all kick ass tomorrow. Have a good one.